There are moments in life when the weight of the world feels too heavy to carry, when the doors you prayed would open seem to slam in your face, when the people you trusted walk away, when the pain becomes so deep you wonder if God still hears your cries. It is in those moments when everything in you wants to give up that you must remember one unshakable truth. God's plan is greater than your pain. You see, pain has a purpose. It is not the end of your story. It is a tool in the hands of a loving Creator who knows exactly what He's doing. We are often so focused on what we've lost that we forget who holds our future. God does not waste pain. Every tear, every disappointment, every dark night of the soul, He weaves it all together into something that will one day make sense. Think about it. If everything in your life went according to your plan, you'd never grow. You'd never need faith. You'd never discover the depth of God's power within you. Sometimes God allows the storm not to destroy you, but to develop you. Sometimes He removes what you thought you needed so He can replace it with something far greater. But here's the challenge. When you're in the middle of the struggle, you can't see the end. When you're standing in the valley, it's hard to believe there's a mountain ahead. And that's why faith is essential. Faith is not believing when everything looks good. It's believing when everything looks impossible. It's standing firm when your emotions scream, quit. It's trusting that God's silence does not mean His absence. Too many people give up right before the breakthrough. They stop praying right before the miracle. They stop believing right before the answer comes. Don't let that be you. There is a divine urgency inside your spirit that says, keep going. That urgency is not fear, it's purpose. It's God whispering to your heart, I'm not done with you yet. When you fall, rise again. When you fail, learn. When you hurt, heal. But through it all, trust. Trust that the pain you feel today is preparing you for the strength you need tomorrow. Trust that every closed door is guiding you to the right one. Trust that even when you can't trace God's hand, you can trust His heart. Earl Nightingale once said that we become what we think about most of the time. What are you thinking about? Are you focusing on your pain or God's promise? Are you living in fear or in faith? Because your thoughts create your reality. If you dwell on what's broken, you'll remain broken. But if you dwell on what's possible, you'll begin to heal, to rise, to transform. You must take ownership of your mindset. You must decide, right, here and now. That pain will not define you, purpose will. You must decide that your past will not imprison you, God's plan will empower you. Because when you align your thoughts with His truth, you begin to see life differently. You start to realize that every delay is not a denial but a divine setup for something greater. Some of you have been walking through a season of pain so long that you've started to believe it will never end. But I want to remind you, every season changes. Winter does not last forever. The same God who brought you through before will do it again. The same God who parted the Red Sea still makes a way today. The same God who raised Lazarus from the dead still breathes life into impossible situations. He has not forgotten you. He is still working behind the scenes, aligning people, opportunities, and resources in your favor. But you must do your part. You must act with urgency. You must wake up every day with a decision to walk in faith, not fear. God gives you breath each morning because your purpose is not finished. That means there's still something you're meant to do, someone you're meant to impact, some destiny you're meant to fulfill. Don't waste another moment living small, doubting your worth, or questioning your calling. Pain will tempt you to stop, but faith will empower you to move. Pain will whisper, it's over. But God will declare, I'm just getting started. The question is, whose voice will you listen to? You see, the enemy wants to convince you that your pain means God has abandoned you, but that's a lie. The very presence of pain is often the evidence that something powerful is being birthed within you. When a seed is planted, it's buried in darkness. It's covered in soil. It's surrounded by pressure. But that seed doesn't die. It grows. It pushes through the dirt. It reaches toward the light. And one day, what was once invisible becomes undeniable. That's you. You may feel buried right now, but you are not buried. You are planted. And when God's time comes, you will rise. Stop asking God to. Take away every difficulty. Start asking Him to use your difficulty to strengthen you. Because power is not developed in comfort. Diamonds are formed under pressure. Gold is refined by fire. And faith is perfected through trials. Every great man or woman of faith you admire went through something that tested their trust in God. But they refused to give up. They refused to let pain have the final word. And because of that, they stepped into greatness. There is greatness inside you too. There is a warrior within you that has not yet been unleashed. There is a version of you that pain is trying to introduce you to the stronger, wiser, more compassionate you. But you must make a choice. Will you let your pain break you, or will you let it build you? God is not punishing you, He is preparing you. Preparation often feels like pain because it stretches you. It calls you out of what is familiar and comfortable. But you cannot grow without being stretched. You cannot reach the next level staying the same. So instead of resisting the process, embrace it. Say, Lord, I don't understand it, but I trust you. I can't see the whole picture, but I believe you're painting something. And beautiful. The truth is, God's plan rarely makes sense in the moment. Joseph didn't understand why his brothers betrayed him or why he was thrown into prison. But years later, he saw how God used it all to position him to save a nation. What others meant for evil, God turned for good. And He will do the same for you. You might be in a pit right now, but that pit is not permanent. You might be in pain right now, but that pain is not the end. You might feel forgotten, but God is still watching. Every step, every tear, every moment. He's using it to write a story that will inspire others. So stop comparing your journey to someone else's. Stop wishing your life looked different. You don't need to understand every chapter to trust the author. He knows where you're going. He knows what it takes to get you there. And He knows exactly what you can handle. If He allowed it, it's because He intends to use it. There's a reason you didn't quit when others did. There's a reason you're still standing after everything you've been through. That reason is God's grace. He's not finished with you yet. So live with urgency. Live like your life matters, because it does. Live like your purpose is real, because it is. Every morning you wake up is a reminder that God still believes in you. He still has work for you to do. There are people waiting for your testimony, for your courage, for your example. Don't hide your scars. They are proof that God heals. Don't hide your past. It's the evidence of His redemption. Your pain gives you credibility to speak hope to others still in the fire. So don't let pain make you bitter. Let it make you better. Don't let loss make you hard. Let it make you wise. Don't let disappointment make you doubt. Let it deepen your faith. Because everything you go through is shaping you for where you're going. God is developing in you the strength, the patience, and the character needed to carry the blessing that's coming. You may not see it yet, but one day you'll look back and thank God for the pain. You'll realize that what you thought was breaking you was actually building you. That what you thought was the end was really a new beginning. That what you thought was unanswered prayer was God's protection. So rise today with power. Speak life into your situation. Declare that your pain will not define your future. Declare that you will not settle for mediocrity. Declare that you will live with purpose, urgency, and faith. Because the same God who created the stars created you, and He does not make mistakes. No matter what you've lost, no matter how far you've fallen, no matter how much it hurts right now, remember, God's plan is greater than your pain. Your story is not over. Your best days are not behind you, they are ahead of you. So lift your head, straighten your back, and walk forward with boldness, knowing that if God is for you, nothing can stand against you. Every second you spend doubting yourself is a second you're robbing from your destiny. The time is now. The world needs your light, your strength, your faith. Move with urgency. Speak with purpose. Live with conviction. Because you are not an accident, you are a divine assignment. You have survived too much to quit. Now, you've been through too many battles to lay down your sword. You've seen too many miracles to stop believing. So hold on to hope. Keep your eyes on God. Keep your heart aligned with His will, and keep walking, even when the path is unclear. For in due season you will reap if you do not give up. In due season, your pain will turn into praise. In due season, the very thing that once made you cry will make you shout with joy. Because when God writes the story, even the broken chapters have purpose. And when it's all said and done, you'll realize that every moment of pain was a setup for greater glory. That every trial was a test that made you stronger. That every tear was watering the seeds of your destiny. God's plan has always been greater than your pain. So walk in faith, live with urgency, and let your life become the proof that nothing can stop the power of a cast person who refuses to give up on God. Pain has a strange way of feeling final. It grips your heart and convinces you that what you're going through will last forever. But pain, in the hands of God, is never pointless. Every tear that falls is seen, every ache of your soul is known, and every struggle you face is a tool being shaped by divine hands. When you understand that your pain has purpose, you begin to see life differently. You stop asking, "Why me?" and start asking, "What is God teaching me through this?" You realize that the pain isn't punishment, it's preparation. It's not a setback, it's a setup. You may not understand it now, but one day you'll look back and see how every painful chapter had a reason. God uses pain to draw us closer to Him, to strip away the things we've been holding on to build a strength in us that comfort never could. A muscle only grows when it is stretched and strained. Likewise, faith only grows when it is tested. Pain is the gym where your spirit is trained. Every moment of hardship is an invitation to deeper faith and greater trust. The same God who allows the storm is the one who calms it. He doesn't cause pain to destroy you, but to refine you, to pull something greater out of you. Diamonds don't come from ease. They're born under pressure. Gold is purified by fire, not by comfort. So when pain visits your life, don't see it as the enemy. See it as the teacher. Let it push you toward God, not away from Him. Let it remind you that there is something in you worth shaping, something powerful being prepared. What feels like breaking is often the molding. You are clay in the potter's hand, and though the process may hurt, the outcome will be something beautiful. Trust that the same pain that wounds today will strengthen you tomorrow. God never wastes it. Every struggle has a purpose. Every loss has a lesson. And when it's all over, you will rise stronger, wiser, and more unshakable in your faith, because you'll finally see that the pain was never meant to stop you. It was meant to start you. Faith is not believing when life is easy. It's believing when nothing makes sense. It's standing firm when the ground beneath you shakes. Faith is trusting God's plan when you can't see His hand. It's walking forward in the dark because you trust the one who lights the way. Too often, people think faith is the absence of fear. But true faith exists right in the middle of fear. It's choosing to believe God's promise even when every circumstance screams the opposite. When you pray and nothing changes, faith says, God is still working. When doors close, faith says, God is redirecting me. When you feel forgotten, faith says, God is closer than ever. Trusting what you can't see is one of the hardest things a believer will ever do, but it's also the most rewarding. Because faith builds relationship. It forces you to lean not on your own understanding, but on God's unshakable wisdom. Every person of great faith, Abraham, Joseph, Job, Esther, walked through uncertainty before they saw the promise fulfilled. Faith doesn't mean you won't cry. It means you'll cry and still believe. It means you'll stumble, but keep walking. It means that when you can't see the next step, you still take it, trusting that God will meet you there. Faith is the bridge between pain and purpose. It is the fuel that keeps your soul moving when logic says to stop. When you trust what you can't see, you begin to live in a divine rhythm, one that aligns your heart with heaven. You stop depending on outcomes and start depending on obedience. You realize that faith is not about controlling your story, but surrendering it. Because when you surrender, you discover peace beyond understanding. You learn that faith doesn't remove the storm, it anchors you through it. So if life feels uncertain right now, don't panic. Don't doubt. Keep believing. God is still God. His promises are still true. And even if you can't see the destination, keep walking, because He's guiding every step with purpose. Faith isn't about seeing to believe, it's about believing until you see. Your mind is the battlefield of your destiny. What you think about determines how you live. Earl Nightingale once said, "We become what we think about most," and that truth is echoed in Scripture. As a man thinks in his heart, so is he. If your mind dwells on pain, your life will stay trapped in it. But if your mind focuses on God's promises, your life will rise above it. Your mindset can be your prison or your passport. It's your choice. Every thought you entertain either moves you closer to your purpose or keeps you stuck in your past. That's why God calls us to renew our minds daily, to fix our thoughts on what is pure, good, and true. Because transformation begins in thought before it manifests in life. When you start speaking life instead of defeat, you shift your reality. When you declare God's word over your fear, you starve doubt. The devil's favorite weapon is deception. He wants to convince you that you're worthless, forgotten, and broken. But when your mind is anchored in truth, his lies lose power. Renewing your mind is not a one-time act. It's a daily discipline. It means catching yourself when negativity creeps in and replacing it with faith. It means choosing gratitude over complaining, belief over doubt, and hope over despair. When your thoughts change, your actions follow. When your actions change, your outcomes shift. That's how victory begins from the inside out. A faith-filled mind sees opportunities where others see obstacles. It recognizes God's hand where others see coincidence. You were not created to live in defeat. You were created to walk in authority. So guard your thoughts, feed your faith, speak life into every dry place of your soul. Because when your mind aligns with God's word, nothing can stop your transformation. You begin to live in peace, power, and clarity. Your thoughts are the seeds of your destiny. Plant wisely. You may feel buried, forgotten, and surrounded by darkness, but you are not buried. You are planted. There's a difference. Burial is the end of something, but planting is the beginning of something new. When a seed is placed in the soil, it looks like it's lost, but what's really happening is transformation. Hidden beneath the surface, the seed begins to break open. It dies to its old form so that new life can emerge. That's exactly what happens in your seasons of struggle. God places you in dark, quiet places, not to punish you, but to grow you. He hides you because he's preparing you. The soil may feel heavy, but it's full of the nutrients you need to become who you're meant to be. Growth doesn't happen in the spotlight, it happens underground. It happens in the unseen moments, when you choose to keep believing, keep praying, keep pushing. The pain of the process is necessary for the promise to bloom. You may not see progress, but God is at work beneath the surface. One day, you'll break through, and what was once hidden will be undeniable. Your roots are forming. Your faith is strengthening. Your being prepared for increase. The darkness isn't a sign that God has left you. It's a sign that he's planting you for a harvest. So don't fight the soil. Don't rush the process. Trust that the one who planted you knows exactly when to bring you into the light. Every delay is divine timing. Every hidden season is holy preparation. You are planted in purpose, and when the time is right, you will rise stronger, more fruitful, and more radiant than ever before. Keep growing. The soil is not your grave, it's your garden. Each day you wake up is another reminder that your mission isn't finished. Life is short, and time is precious. You cannot live passively, waiting for perfect conditions to move forward. You must live with urgency and purpose. God did not create you to simply exist. He created you to impact, to inspire, to influence. Too many people waste years waiting for the right moment, but the right moment is now. Every breath you take is evidence that there's still something left for you to do. Someone needs your story. Someone needs your strength. Someone needs the light that only you can bring. When you live with urgency, you stop treating life casually and start living intentionally. You wake up with gratitude and go to bed with purpose. You stop allowing fear to paralyze you and start letting faith propel you. Urgency doesn't mean rushing. It means recognizing the value of time and acting with divine intention. God has entrusted you with gifts, talents, and opportunities that no one else has. Don't bury them in excuses. Don't delay obedience. When God says move, move. When He says speak, speak. Your yes could be the answer to someone else's prayer. Living with purpose means aligning every decision with God's calling for your life. It means making an impact where you are, instead of waiting for a perfect stage. Even small acts of faith can change lives. You don't need to have it all figured out. You just need to start. The world needs your light, your voice, your faith in action. There is no time to waste on fear, doubt, or comparison. Live like your life matters, because it does. Each day is a gift and an assignment. Move boldly, love deeply, serve faithfully. The clock is ticking, and heaven is counting on your obedience. What you're facing today may feel unbearable, but no matter the depth of your pain, God's plan is still greater. Every detour, disappointment, and delay is leading you toward divine destiny. You may not understand the why, but you can trust the who. God sees the full picture, and His plan always works together for your good. What feels like loss might be redirection. What looks like failure might be foundation. He's not finished writing your story. You're still in the middle of the chapter, and it's too soon to close the book. God specializes in turning pain into power, tears into triumph, and trials into testimonies. Every great story of faith was birthed from brokenness. The difference is perspective. When you shift your focus from the pain to the plan, you find peace. You begin to see how even the painful moments were necessary. Maybe that door closed because it wasn't meant for you. Maybe that relationship ended because God was protecting you. Maybe that delay was preparation for something better. Trust that nothing is wasted. God can redeem every situation. He's weaving the broken threads of your story into something more beautiful than you can imagine. One day, you'll look back and realize that the pain you endured was the path to purpose. It made you stronger, wiser, more compassionate. It taught you to depend fully on Him. So don't let pain have the final word. Let faith rise. Keep walking. Keep believing. The same God who carried you through yesterday will carry you through today. His plan is greater, His timing is perfect, and His love unshakable. When all is said and done, you'll see that what was meant to break you became the very thing that built you. When everything has been said, and when every struggle has been faced, remember this: your pain does not have the authority to define you. God's plan does. The storms that once terrified you were never meant to destroy you. They were meant to reveal the strength that has always lived inside you. Every tear that has fallen, every prayer whispered in the dark, every sleepless night you thought would never end, they were all chapters in a greater story. And the author of that story never makes mistakes. You may not understand why things happened the way they did, but one day you will look back and see how even the broken pieces fit perfectly into the masterpiece God was creating. So as you stand today, at the edge of your tomorrow, make a decision. Decide that. You will no longer be ruled by fear or by the memory of what hurt you. Decide that you will no longer delay your destiny, waiting for perfect conditions. Decide that you will live with urgency, faith, and passion, because time is precious and purpose is calling. The same God who brought light into the darkness, who parted seas and raised the dead, is the same God who lives in you. You carry His power, His promise, and His presence. That means no obstacle is too great, no failure too final, and no pain too deep for Him to redeem. Maybe you've been waiting for a sign that it's time to rise again. This is that sign. This is your reminder that buried dreams can live again, that faith still moves mountains, that grace still restores what was lost. You have survived every battle so far, not by chance, but by divine intention. God has been building something unshakable within you, a faith that can't be broken, a heart that still believes, a spirit that refuses to quit. You've come too far to give up now. The pain that once paralyzed you will become the platform for your purpose. The same tears that fell in weakness will shine as proof of victory. So step forward. Step out of the shadow of your past and into the light of God's promise. You are chosen, anointed, and equipped for such a time as this. Live boldly, love deeply, serve faithfully. Don't wait for the perfect moment. Create it through obedience and courage. Every day you wake up is a new opportunity to glorify the one who never stopped believing in you. Keep your eyes on him, your heart anchored in faith, and your steps aligned with purpose. And when the next storm comes, and it will stand tall, remember who you are and whose you are. Declare with confidence that God's plan is still greater than your pain, because in the end, you will not be defined by what hurt you, but by what healed you. You will not be remembered for your struggle, but for your strength. And through it all, your life will become living proof that God's plan is always greater than your pain.